Welcome to Dodgers Dogs as part of the Dodgers Daily Network. Yes, who you're seeing right there is Catman, and welcome to Dodgers Daily Down on the Farm. Of course, Tony Gonsolin is not a prospect, and he's only down on the farm because of rehab, but I got a chance to see his rehab outing last night in AAA Oklahoma City, all the way from his warm-ups. I thought it was very impressive. As you're watching him here, what you're seeing him do is what's called his heavy ball work. So this is the bullpen. That's about probably a 16-foot tall concrete wall that he's throwing a weighted ball into. Now, of course, we see weighted ball activity with every pregame with pitchers. What was impressive about his routine was the fact that he used different colored balls, and I'm assuming each ball weighed a little bit more than the next. You can see this guy right here. That is Ryan Dennick right there. Ryan Dennick is one of the pitching coaches at AAA Oklahoma City. He's been with Tulsa for the last several years. Just an absolutely awesome pitching coach. Very, very creative. Does a very good job. Well, as you can tell, as he continues to get promotions. So you see him doing his bullpen work. You saw him, first of all, do his weighted ball work to kind of get all of his arms loose, to get all of his big muscles loose. Then you saw him throw all of his long toss, and then he worked his way back in. Then he came back in and threw a bullpen, and then he went out last night and had his rehab outing. 1 2/3 innings. It was capped at 35 pitches. Came out in the middle of the second inning with 2 outs with 35 pitches. There you can go right there. See that little breaking ball that he threw? That's a very nice pitch, and there's a splitter. You can see it was cold last night. Landon Knack, Evan Phillips, nice play. Gator right there at a boy. They all had a hard time with all their secondaries. Evan Phillips had a hard time getting the feel of a sweeper. Landon Knack actually doubled down. There's that splitter right there. You can see that right turn, left turn on your screen, but right turn as far as he goes. There's another right turn splitter there. There is that curveball that he throws or breaking ball that he throws. Fastball in the outer half, and then there's the slider. So you've seen the left turn, right turn on your screen, but left turn to the pitcher. You've seen the right turn of the splitter. You've seen the slider / breaking ball. And then you also see that Tony Gonsolin no longer has the long hair. When I saw him warming up, I was like, who in the world is that? I was thinking, well, maybe that's the third base coach, Chris Gutierrez, but no, it is Tony Gonsolin. So, hey, first and foremost, with any rehab, the goal number 1 is to stay healthy. We did that through 35 pitches, 17 strikes. He got to every pitch in the arsenal again. Results, I just don't even pay attention to them in rehab outings because they don't even know who the hitter is. All they're looking at is the glove that's in front of them from their catcher and to just throw the pitches that they have in their arsenal. So all in all, a successful night last night for Tony Gonsolin in his rehab outing in Oklahoma City. Again, it was like low 50s and windy, and it was rainy. It had rained all day long. It rained all night in Oklahoma City, so it was a very difficult night to get any kind of feel for any of the off-speed pitches. So, again, successful in terms of staying healthy and getting his 35 pitches in, Tony Gonsolin. And this is Evan Phillips. I can tell you this. You can tell I'm sitting right behind home plate. I mean, there was like maybe 300-400 people in the stands. That's it. I mean, between the suites and everything, probably less than 1,000 people in the ballpark at all. By the way, those new Comets uniforms are just absolutely sweet. Every combination they put out there is just simply fantastic. And then that LA on the side of their arm is just really awesome too. I'll tell you this, Evan Phillips had 4 layers of speeds. That sweeper right there that you saw, look at that sweeper there. See how that's what I'm trying to tell you. It was a tough night to command any kind of control. Look at that right turn of the sinker. So there's that sweeper again. It was hard to keep control of your off speed. What I loved about Evan Phillips, he had the sweeper at 85. He had the cutter. There's another sweeper to a lefty. Threw the sweeper to lefties and righties. There's the cutter. He had the cutter at 91. He had the sweeper at 85. Then he also had a 2-seam that took a right turn. That one there. See that 2-seam? And then he had the 4-seam right there. See there? You saw that there's another 2-seam. You saw the 2-seam, 4-seam. 2-seam was about 93. 4-seam was 94. Cutter was 91, sweeper was 85. So 4 different layers of speeds to go with 2 different types of turns, the right turn of the sinker, the left turn of the sweeper. And again, he gave up a walk to the very first hitter he faced and eventually gave up a run. I don't care. Again, it was a tough night to pitch. He's just trying to execute his pitch mix. But I'll say this, sitting behind Evan Phillips, like I got to do directly behind home plate last night, his arsenal takes your breath away. Because it's only 93, 94, sinkers 93, four seam 94. But that sweeper is one of the most awesome pitches, seriously, I've ever seen with my own eyes in person. It was like it took my breath away. It was just amazing to watch just how awesome that pitch was. So super exciting to see Evan Phillips last night throw his one inning, gave up a run, no doubt, but not a big deal at all. And just got to, the big thing is he stayed healthy. He got to all of his pitches and he got a lot of great work in. So good deal for Evan Phillips, who is on his way back and in rehab. Another good night last night for Huuung Kim, especially the way that it started. I got him warming up. You can see the smiles, just the fun that he has. He's always not goofing around. That's the wrong way to put it, because there's a difference between having fun and goofing off. The Dodgers want their players to be loose. They want the players' own personalities to come out. They don't want robots. They want every one of their players to be themselves. They want all their personalities to come out. So they want their players to do that and have fun, but they don't want them to goof off. As a professional, that's like the first lesson you learn, is that there is a difference. Goofing off, not okay. Having fun is okay. We see that with Teo. We see that with Kike. We see that all the time. Those guys have a lot of fun, and they laugh and joke, and they do all that, but they never goof off. They're always serious, and they're always in compete mode. That is Huuung Kim. And here you can see an open-faced look at a nice hit, and then running the bases to first base. What I really like about this hit is that he stayed inside the ball very well with it. Let me go ahead and slow this down where we can get a good look at Huuung Kim and his nice base hit last night. Let me fast forward this and get to his at bat and his swing here. So you can see, look at that load. I know Jay mentioned this on a comment the other day, and he's absolutely right. Does not even lift his leg, and so you can see he's taking a pitch here. And what I like is how he flattens the barrel before he. So let me back this up just a touch. He's got the little pinwheel working to him. What I like is he flattens the barrel before he decides where he needs to turn it to get to the ball. So I guess I can't get to it, but if you'll notice, his barrel comes flat, and then once the barrel comes flat, that's where he decides to turn the ball. That's the pitch right there that you're seeing that I think that he's going to have the most problems with right now, because you see that barrel drops below his hands very early in his swing. That's what I'm calling the pinwheel. So anything with velocity up in the zone, I'm not saying he's going to struggle with it because I haven't seen him enough, and that would be a statement that I can't back up with any kind of evidence. And so this is what I like to see. You can see that he was able to get on top. Let me back this up. This pitch is about right here. This is the pitch I'm curious about. I know he's going to hit the pitch down, but how is he going to hit that pitch belt high or maybe a little bit above with any kind of velocity? So to see him get to that pitch, I thought was a very, very good sign for him last night. So here's another at bat. There's a second at bat. You can see he got to that inside pitch and pitch that's a little bit up in the zone there as well. See where that pitch is at? That's not completely up in the zone. That's below the belt, but still he's having to keep his hand. See how he keeps his hands above the ball? So that's really nice. 2 times he got to that pitch up in the zone. Then I also want to show you just kind of just a routine play from him. This play coming up is no big deal whatsoever. But I wanted to show you the defense here, just how easy he makes it look. See how he's able to just judge his hop. He doesn't have to hurry and come through the ball because his arm is so smooth and so strong. So there is a good look at Huuung Kim and some of the things that he did last night. And I'll tell you another thing, James Outman, he made a great catch the other night to save a run. We know he can play defense, but it has been a struggle to start the season offensively. That's after it was a struggle last year. He made some swing changes in the offseason. I'll say this. The swings that he took last night, He popped up once. There's Justin Dean you're seeing there on your screen. I thought he looked very comfortable at the plate last night. I thought his at-bats last night in Oklahoma City were the most comfortable, confident, best at-bats that I've seen him take. I've actually never, I wanted to get this in because I've never seen this type of work right here where he's stretching kind of the kneecap area, both with his right leg and left leg. I thought that was interesting. So I'm like, you know what, I'm going to get that on video and show this to other people, just kind of the extent that professional players go through. See that right there? Nice and smooth. I mean, you tell me. Let me back this up one more time, show you this swing. I mean, one thing that Dodgers fans have kind of wondered about him is the swing mechanics. But from here, I mean, look at that nice soft low. Really doesn't move his hands a whole lot. His head, both eyes on the baseball right here. Now watch how smooth this is. Sweet swing right there, man. He keeps swinging like that. James Outman will get out of this patch that he's been in for over a year. He will get his confidence back. And we know if James Outman, really all he has to do is just be a league average type of offensive player and just strike out 30% of the time. And he's actually going to be a way above average player because he's very good defensively. So James Outman, it was good to see him have a good night last night. And by the way, let me actually back up. You're looking at Dalton Rushing right there. Let me actually back up and show you his last at bat last night. Check this out right here. Walk off again. Another sweet, smooth swing, walk off. Hey, Huuung Kim, come on, young man, slide in there safe. It's the 11th inning. It's about 45 degrees. The Oklahoma City Comets are celebrating a win. More so, they're celebrating this damn thing is finally over as far as a minor league game in front of about 500 people. I joke. You can see the score there, 6-5. So good for James Outman, 2 hits and the walk-off. More than that, he's had hits before. More than that, I just think that he looked very comfortable and very confident. So let's now get back to our Dalton Rushing video from last night. Didn't get a whole lot of great video of him hitting because I was concentrating on getting Evan Phillips and Tony Gonsolin out in real time. A lot of times I wait till the next day to get my videos out, but just kind of to go to show the process of Dalton Rushing. If you remember a couple of days ago, he got just absolutely tattooed in the mask with a foul ball. Messaged him the day before, said, hey, everything okay? He said, yeah, no problem. Passed all my tests. Kept everything off the record, no doubt about it, which almost all the time whenever I get information, that's what it is. And off the record to me is exactly that. It is 100% off the record. I have a 100% track record on off the record type of stuff. So Dalton Rushing, it was great to see him back in the fold last night, just kind of to go to show the warm-ups and then the type of stuff that catchers go through in the bullpens, getting a good look at him. He's throwing that weighted ball too to get loose here. And then Wardo, hey, I've said Ryan Ward, professional hit tool. I've said many times, I think Ryan Ward probably has the best hit tool of any of the young prospects in the organization, but he's not a center fielder and he's not right-handed. That's why the opportunity hasn't been there for him. He takes a nice cut, and people have said, oh, it looks like Jock Peterson. No, this is a guy that can hit. This is not a guy that sells out. I mean, look, you're right there. Opposite field base hit. He had 2 of those last night. This is a guy that's hit over 400 for an entire season at the Division I level. This is a guy that in the past has been, with like a couple weeks to go, hitting 285 with 33 home runs at the AA level till he got injured and had to play basically about 15 games with injuries that really kind of affected his batting average. This is a guy, though, that with 2 strikes can gather hits, but then we also know that he can throw, that he can hit a lot of home runs, too. So, hey, he's also hitting 476 OPS 1049. That's Wardo, Ryan Ward. I've said, I told you the other day the story that at their first workout, said, hey, man, I want 275 and 30. And he said, I'm going to try. And we are well on our way there to that for Ryan Ward, old Wardo. One of my favorites, nobody I have more respect for than him. He'd go to work at 5 o'clock in the morning with his dad. He'd come back and then do all of his workout stuff and work all day. Just an awesome young man. And then here's Landon Knack. I'll say this about him. He went back to back on his knuckle curves. You saw his knuckle curve there. See that knuckle curve? He had a hard time commanding that knuckle curve, but I'll tell you, that four seam up in the zone you saw right there, there's a nice knuckle curve. He threw some beautiful knuckle curves. You can see him having a hard time with that knuckle curve again, another hard time with it there, and he backs it up. See how he went back to back with knuckle curves to get the feel, and then that four seam at the top of the zone, there's another one that slipped away. There's a great one there. So he dropped some beautiful knuckle curves, some really nice change-ups, and then he also had some that got away from him. There's another beautiful one. Largely because by the time he came in, there was nobody there. There was no adrenaline. There was no atmosphere. And it was cold and pretty windy and very difficult to command the ball. So there's that beautiful changeup I was talking about. There's a nice little slider. That was a disappointing one because he had worked to get out of the inning and then gave up a 2-out base hit. And he was pretty pissed about it. There's another one that got away from him. But I think last night was a high floor game for Landon Knack, meaning he is a professional glove hitter. You can see his mannerisms. He's not happy with the way he's executing at all, and understandable. But having said that, he still got through in a very difficult environment. 4.2 thirds innings, which that's good length in the environment he was at. 5 hits, only 2 runs, 5 strikeouts, and only 2 walks. So that to last night, to me, there is a much, much better version than what we saw from Landon Knack last night. And even with that, with the fact that his command wasn't up to his standards, I'll put it to you that way. I can confidently say that. And I think we just saw that with his mannerisms. He still was able to grind through the outing and give Oklahoma City the job that they needed to eventually come back and win the game. So good job, Landon Knack, on the way you can tell how good somebody is how they do on the nights when things aren't perfect. That was Landon Knack last night. And this is Eddie Rosario. Watching him hit, I just play the song from Lionel Richie over and over in my head. That Easy Like Sunday Morning. That's what Eddie Rosario makes hitting look like. I mean, it's amazing how easy hitting looks to Rosario. I just don't see any way that this guy doesn't factor in with the big club at some point. He is too good of a professional hitter. He's hitting right now 381, OPS 934. But just beyond that, I mean, it's just the ease of which he makes the art of hitting, which is the hardest thing in sport. It's just amazing how easy he makes it look. I'm mesmerized watching him swing the bat because of just exactly how easy he does make it look. So it was fun watching last night. It was fun watching last night, I should say. Lost my train of thought there. Eddie Rosario, as I'm trying to get to the Alex Freeland defense last night from third base. It's fun watching Eddie Rosario. We'll move on now to Alex Freeland. I wanted to show you this because that's third base. Of course, that throws up the line. But the key point is here, behind the bag right here. Look at this arm. Beautiful, strong arm. We know he's a great athlete. So the strong arm, he can make all the plays behind the bag. Great athlete, so he can make all the plays coming in as well. Look at that right there. Alex Freeland at third base is a big development because we know he has the explosive hit tool. Got to get the strikeout rate down. Got to put the ball in play enough. Over 30 stolen bases. That's the potential he has. There's the arm from third. So if he can play third base, Huuung Kim's playing some shortstop there. And there's other shortstops in the system. You got Mookie Betts, all that kind of thing. Third base, I think, with Max Muncy getting a little bit older, people have asked who is the future third baseman. Well, why not Alex Freeland? Look at that defense there. He's a switch hitter, tons of power, great athlete, still in development in terms of finding the best version of his hit tool. But I wanted to show you the defense there from Alex Freeland and the big development of him playing a lot more third base. So there is Dodgers Daily Down the Farm. I hope you enjoyed today's show. And until next time, go Dodgers tonight in Philly. Dodgers looking to move to 9-0. So until next time, I'm Casey Porter. It's a great day to be a Dodger.